Down the front, please.
You're just looking up to
Maybe to your right slightly. Straight ahead, please.
Guys, both over this side.
Thank you.
And straight ahead in the middle, please.
Straight down the middle for this one, please.
Straight ahead, please.
Straight down the middle, please. That's brilliant. Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Ron. It's on you.
Well, it was it was a lovely character to come back to play. I'm sort of nearer in age to Alec Guinness when he played when he made the role in episode 4. So it was nice to sort of bridge the gap between the last episode I did and his. I think we found a really great story to tell in that time frame, 10 years after the end of episode 3. And it was fun to play him again. Really, really fun. And with the new technology and working with Deborah Chow, our brilliant director, and with really good writing, it was good. It was really good fun to do. He's so it's like 10 years after the end of episode 3, and the end of episode 3, the Jedis are all but wiped out, and those who haven't been killed are in hiding, and this sort of Jedi Order has collapsed, and Obi-Wan's lost his brother Anakin to the dark side of the Force, and I think feels a certain sort of responsibility for that. So it's 10 years later. He's in hiding himself, and he's sort of living without the Force, and is a pretty broken man. I think people just like watching stories in that world. They like George Lucas created this world that we like to. Sci-fi is about escapism, isn't it? And I guess we like to escape into that world, and now that we know that world, I think everyone knows the world so well and likes it that you can tell all these different stories in it, like either with characters that we know from the original movies or new characters or in different timelines. And so it is growing all the time as like computer games and books and comics and TV shows and movies, and it's sort of ever expanding.
I did Mandalorian, and I loved that experience. Like, it was a great experience, and it's such a wonderful galaxy to work in. So I was really excited to get the opportunity to do sort of a bigger story and do the whole thing on this one. But I think one of the most interesting things is just such an interesting and well-defined galaxy to work in. I think one of the things that we were really trying to do with this series that's a little different is that because it's a limited series, we have more time than you would normally with a feature to really sort of develop and get more depth into the characters. So we were really trying to do sort of a more character-driven story. Oh, I think definitely the most challenging aspect is the legacy of it, is that, they are some of the most iconic characters in cinema, and obviously we're telling a story that's in between two huge trilogies. So, in a lot of ways we were telling the second act of this story, so there's quite a responsibility that comes with that. I think there's a lot of things, with Star Wars. I think personally for me, a lot of the appeal is that at the end of the day, it's always felt like a franchise that's about hope, and I think it's kind of an enduring message. And then in other aspects, it's just such an interesting, well-defined world where every detail is so well thought out. And I think it's also a very inclusive galaxy where, everybody can sort of find a place in it.
Yeah, it's just such a thrill to get to come back after all this time and do more with this character. Excuse me. That means so much to me. I spent a good 4 to 5 years of my life with this character, and he's come to define my life in so many ways. So it's just been a great opportunity. Ooh, without giving away anything, just a great story. First time I read the scripts, I was just blown away. I think they really sort of stayed true to what makes Star Wars great, and it's just an exciting story. What's going on with the Obi-Wan Kenobi character, and of course Darth Vader. I think fans will be in for a real treat. The people I got to work with, that was probably the most enjoyable. Working with Ewan and Deborah and Moses. It was just a great group of people. The most challenging aspect. The Darth Vader costume's a real beast, It's very heavy, very hot in there, but a real joy to get to wear it as well, and an honor. I think it just goes back to the stories, and sort of how George Lucas originally sort of conceived them. It laid the foundation for these new storytellers to come in and tell their own stories in the Star Wars universe, and I think it's just really exciting, and I've really enjoyed everything that they've been up to, you know. So it's great to be back. It's hard not to. I mean, it's a very empowering costume, and so fun just to see everyone's reaction, you know, when they see Vader. And there's always like a sort of a change in their demeanor, and that's good fun.
You know, it's a big deal. I still remember being on Zoom and finding out that I got the job. I don't think I said anything. I think there was like nothing behind my eyes for a second, just shock and awe, really. Still, that first day on set was sick. It's actually the moment in the trailer where we're like stepping off the ship into like, you know, where we are. Never know what to say. But, you know, it was amazing. You know, like you could hear the cannons and like all the extras, and the energy was palpable in the space. It felt really good to be a part. Dangerous because she's so passionate about her work as a Jedi hunter, and you know she will do whatever she has to do to get the job done. And I think that's one of the things I find most exciting about her is her disregard for what anyone thinks about the way in which she does things. I think the thing that was the most challenging and the thing that I probably enjoyed the most was the training. Before we even got to set, we had like really in-depth training, working out, cardio, and Jedi school, anything you can think of that we might need for you know. Yeah, it was cool. They're really gracious people, really dope people. They've been doing this a really long time, and they lead by example. And so many people are so happy to see them all the time, which is really beautiful to see. And you know, I'm just happy to be here with them. Nostalgia, and you know, it's connected to so many things for so many people. And I was just saying earlier in the line, you know, when you love something, you pass it on to people that you love, and hopefully that tradition continues.